You are tuned in to the Remnant Broadcast Station, where we deliver good news that you can use. We cover live interviews, spiritual messages, and inspirational music to edify the body. Those who have an ear, let them hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying unto the church through your host, the Remnant. Hey, what's going on out there? I pray you all had a wonderful weekend. And to all you mothers out there, I hope you enjoyed your Mother's Day. You know, I have a stepson who I love dearly, but by choice, I never had any children of my own. But I truly recognize and acknowledge the gift that mothers are to the world, and thank God daily for the beautiful woman who birthed and raised me with godly morals and foundational teachings. You know, one of the things that I always admired about mothers is that no matter the age, young or old, no matter if the pregnancy was planned or in layman's terms was an oops, every person that makes it through the birthing process has a purpose to why God allowed them to be here. Some of us may choose to pursue that purpose, and some may decide to take other routes. But regardless to either, we come from God, children of God, uniquely designed to act like Him. The Bible declares that before we were formed in our mother's womb, He knew us. Ponder on that thing, y'all. Before we were formed in our mother's womb, God knew us. But this is what I have always found fascinating about those who are mothers. Besides the obvious, carrying a child for months and going through the various painful childbearing stages, these women were chosen to bring forth a portion of God's purpose and entrusted to raise, cultivate, and then release that person to be under the power of God. You ladies should truly feel honored to be called to such a high level of trust. And if you are a stepmom, such as myself, when you said I do to that man and took that vow to become one with him, you took on the same spiritual responsibilities of a primary parent and have stood before God and took an oath to empower, raise, instill godly morals and the such into the life of that man's seed as if you were the one who birthed them yourself. Now, I want to share a somewhat funny story with you guys. I was speaking to someone years ago who was ranting about their children and what they were doing. Now, they wasn't ranting about a small child, but their child was grown, was like 25 years old or so. Anyway, so as they were going on and on, out of the blue, the Lord dropped this revelation in my spirit. So I blurted out before I knew it, "Well, you know that ain't your child, right?" So she was like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, that ain't your child." So she goes, "What you mean? I carried him for 9 months, spent such and such hours in labor, fed and clothed them, so forth and so on." I said, "Yeah, I know, but ain't none of them your children." So I could see she was kind of getting a little upset. So I said, "Okay, let me bring this thing on in." So I say, they are children of God. And you was just the vehicle put in place to get them here to earth. And then all God asked was that when they were too young to know any better, you teach them the right way to go. Have you done this? So she shook her head, yes. I said, "Well, then you have done your part." Now, I went on to explain to her that it may seem easy for me to say this because I don't have any children of my own, and certainly I wasn't trying to look over or not acknowledge who she was in the lives of the people she gave birth to. But I needed her to understand that sometimes a parent, especially a mother, can hinder the spiritual growth process because they don't leave room for God to move or operate in a child's life because they are so used to taking on the position of God instead of allowing God to operate the way He desires. You have to keep in mind that just as God designed and foreknew you, He designed and foreknew that child. I'm not saying, don't show them love, but if you bail them out all the time, how will they ever learn what it means to depend on God? If you give them what they want whenever they want it, how will they ever learn how to recognize that God can provide? If you expect them to always come to you when they're hurt, when they're disappointed, when they're broke, when they're going through every little thing, if it's always you to the rescue, even when they are grown and adults now, how will they ever know who God is? What makes us think we have to raise our children forever. I mean, come on now, is your parent still raising you? All I'm saying is definitely give God room to be God in your children's life. Well, that's it for today's segment. I pray the rest of your day be awesome. Your girl is still on vacation, so I'm definitely taking it easy. And tomorrow I will be celebrating my birthday. You guys call in, drop a text or email with some kind words and show your girl some love. I'm not hard to please. But until then, make it a great day. It's your girl, The Remnant. God bless. This station is endorsed by Dr. Samuel A. Wilson Sr., pastor of Community Christian Fellowship Ministries of Detroit, Michigan.